kindergarten through third grade. This week we are going to use our hands again like we did with our goose and our dragon drawings earlier this year, and we are going to make a giraffe. So before we get started, take a minute, get some white sheets of paper, a pencil, eraser. If you have any kind of like black marker or just a black colored pencil or crayon will work, and then colored pencils or crayons. And then come back and we will get started. All right, so to make our giraffe, what we're going to start with is just using our hand. I've got a watch and jewelry, so I got to take that all off first. But you can see how this giraffe is pretty much my hand. The only thing I have to do is I have to bend back my middle finger just like that. And we are going to trace my hand, your hand, and create our composition. So kind of coming in from the left side of your page at the bottom and coming up towards the center, leaving us some space around the whole giraffe head, we are going to trace. Make sure your pencil is straight up and down. If we put our pencil at an angle, what ends up happening is you're going to have a really itty bitty wrist and possibly really itty bitty horns and ears and all that kind of stuff. So keep it straight up and down. Not at an angle, because if you go in at an angle, you're going to get way too deep underneath of your finger. Okay. Now you can pull your hand away and you can see what you're left with. If there's any spots that you need to fill in, fill them in. Now right down here at the bottom of your hand where your palm would be, we are going to just curve this around so that we get the bottom of the face of the giraffe. And then we want to do another curved piece right above that. So then we kind of have the full nose of the giraffe. Put two ovals right in the middle where that nose is at, and a little curve mark over each oval for the nose. And then we're going to do some big ovals right above, and you can do those sketching lines because we're going to go over everything with a marker later and make our lines solid. And then right in your eyes, create kind of a circular shape. It's not a full circle. It's kind of looking off to one side, off to the right. And then do another full circle right in the middle of that other shape. Okay. Now coming up to where your pinky and your thumb were, those are going to be the ears of our giraffe. So kind of curving down around your pinky and then coming back into the head just like that. We're going to do that to your pinky, then do it again to your thumb, just like that. And then we want to make it look like there's some fur kind of tufting up in the ear. So coming in and just do a little bit of like tuft lines, little zigzaggy lines to make it look like there's some fur in there. And we want to give this little spot right here some more hair. So you can make it look like this one where it looks almost like kind of smooth, almost like melting ice cream. Or if you want to make it look kind of cool like that, you could make it look a little bit more jagged. Now, after you have all of that done, I want you to take a dark marker, dark crayon, pencil, and I want you to go back over your image and you are going to just outline your entire composition with a nice, smooth black marker. Now, when you do this, you're going over your pencil lines that you already did, and you're really trying to keep those lines as smooth as you possibly can. You already did your construction lines in pencil. So now move your sheet around and make this line as smooth as possible. And once you have that all completely outlined, then you can come back in and do your coloring on your giraffe. Where your eye is, darken that all in black. I'll show you a fun way to do the eyes on that later. to get that nice and blacked in. And then again, you can blacken in these nose holes on your giraffe. All right, so you've got it all traced out. Now, every time you're doing this, you're going to end up seeing that there was some pencil mark that maybe you didn't get your marker right on top of, and that's fine because that's pencil and this is marker. You can come back in and you can erase any of those marks that are kind of floating and not right exactly underneath of your black marker line. And we can just kind of clean up our composition a little bit before we get started on our coloring. Now what I started with was the giraffe spots. Now I did these with marker, and you can do marker and then go over everything else with colored pencil or crayon. That's up to you. But when I did this one, I did it with marker. On here now, I'm actually going to use my pencils, and we're going to just give our giraffe some kind of fun shaped spots. We'll color those all in. And you can make your giraffe himself yellow. And your spots all brown. Right here on the inside of the ears, you're going to make this nice and brown and dark, and it can fade out into the yellow because that's what the giraffe's inside of the ear will look like. Right here on your face, you can make this nice and brown too. This is a great spot to practice layering your colors. So you're laying your pencil kind of flatter to the page. You're not holding it right up here at the front. You're holding it way back at the back, holding it flat to the page, going across one direction, and then you're going to come back across over top of that same layer, going the opposite direction. I got to sharpen my pencil because I didn't have much of a sharpen on it in the first place. Oops. So then coming back now, all my direction lines are this way I was coloring before. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to color going this way. So holding my pencil way far back at the end, I'm holding it really flat to the page, and I'm coming right over top of where I just colored. And that's going to help hide any of those direction lines. And I can just keep shifting my direction and going over top of it again and again in layers so that I can get that color smooth and even all the way to the edges without going outside of my lines. And you get a really smooth color that way. You can also do that on your spots down here as well. All right, so the very top of the horns, that's going to get darker brown up at the top, and it's going to fade out. So practice letting that color be nice and dark at the top and fade out, just like we did last week with our squirrels, where we took that color, we got it dark on one side of those geometric shapes, and then let them fade across. And then the little tuft of hair, that can be your brown as well. Okay, and then you can go back in with your yellow and make the rest of your giraffe all yellow in the in-between. Okay, so once you have that done, pick a design for the background. My girls worked on this project with me, and Claire decided to put a tree in that background so that the giraffe would have something to snack on, which was really cool. And then Amelia, she did a super covered blue background, got it nice and dark with a different color of blue and let it fade out to a lighter blue, which looks super fun. And then this was what I did for my background, kind of similar to what Amelia's was. So have fun doing this. Take pictures when you're done, email them to me, and post them on Facebook so that we can show them to the rest of Magnolia and we can all enjoy what you did. Guys, have a good week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.